Hello, Jeremy Van Gelder with Friends of Road 4109 again. It is Memorial Day 2022, and I'm up here at the trailhead again. The road's in pretty good shape. The trouble spots are a little more trouble, but the, the most of the road is in pretty good shape. A lot of the repairs that we made last year are holding up, and yeah, I'm really proud of what we've done. Now, if I flip you around in a minute, you'll see something I'm not so excited about. There's boulders in the parking lot again. And they've pulled them out once again. Got an ATV over the tank trap. They have not got it past the second or third tank trap, so I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, they pulled this down. The good thing that you can see here is that there's not a big hole in the middle of the parking lot. Our grading, our drainage over in that far corner is working. So this parking lot would be able to hold quite a few more cars if you were able to nose in parking instead of doing what everyone was doing today, which is just parallel park along the circle. So, yep, disappointing. Um, I'll show you some more. This is the first tank trap, as I said. Looks to me like an ATV's been getting through here after they winched the boulders out of the way. Nice full water trap, but it just doesn't stop them. Let's go up to the next one. I should add, for hikers, the best way around this tank trap is to the right as you're going uphill. Definitely brushy, but that's kind of what it needs to be. There's always the official trail further to the right that doesn't go through any of these tank traps. Always an option to use that one. This is the second tank trap. As I said, they haven't gone past this. They've gotten up on it, it looks like. And they've tried to fill it in. Got some pictures, but they were throwing as many cobbles in the bottom as they could, but they couldn't make it. Not too steep to climb out the far side. Next one up there had a little bit of stuff they threw in. Mostly it was just 2 logs that hikers put in there to get across a puddle. So I took a few things, tossed them off the side. But it would be great to have a work day soon. Get some people up here to take those rocks away and put them somewhere they can be useful. This is the water bar I'm most proud of from last year's work. It just barely started to fail on the left side. I did a little bit of handwork and filled it in again. Hopefully it'll last into the dry season, next few rainfall events. But yeah, this is the one that had really washed out the road below it, put 18-inch deep ruts, and those ruts are still there, but they're so much more even, not nearly as deep. You can see there the work it did. You might be able to see the work it did this afternoon. So yeah, that was another one that I doubted, wasn't sure it was going to stay through the winter, but it did. Another interesting thing this year has been the way, with all the rain and the snow, we've definitely had a lot of trees fall down. People have been pretty good about clearing those off, but there are a few still that are high above the road that'll need to be cut sometime. One of the other groups, Southern Gifford Coalition or something like that, I understand is talking about getting a grant for vegetation management on Road 4109, which would be awesome. I hope they do that. We would definitely support that if there's an opportunity for us to work with them on that anyways. We would love to help. All the vegetation management we've done so far has been really rewarding, really helped the road. it ends the claustrophobia that you have when you're driving up an overgrown road, and on the trouble spots, it makes it possible to navigate some new lines that weren't an option before. So that's a huge part of what we do, huge part of what needs to be done, and any sort of grant funding would be great. Up here, I'm really excited about this. This was Puddle Alley. Still has puddles, so much lower than they were. The drains that we dug did not clog up. And with, what, 3 loads of gravel, you could probably fill them in once they dry out in the summer completely. Fill them in, grade it a bit, never have to deal with it again. Or at least not for like 10 years maybe. But yeah, John, our excavator operator, made great big wide drains, just pulled tons of material off the side of the road. This tree doesn't seem to mind. Dug out all around it, left the tree. It's still growing. But yeah, there was 3 massive puddles in a row. Not so massive now. Success breeds success, and I'm definitely feeling a success high. Might not come through my tired voice, but I am loving this. Yeah. Something about a 4-foot wide excavator bucket, you can really clear things out. Check out this big old alder up across the road. The road is getting better. I said it before earlier in the video, but it's true. And walking up and down this road now is almost idyllic in spots where John put the blade down and scraped it smooth. Really happy with this, really happy to see what we can do this next year and into the future. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Our approach to road work so far has been triage, road triage, kind of a scatter shot up and down the road, find the worst points, the water bars that are washed out, the really deep ruts, trying to fix those first to keep it from tearing itself apart. But sometimes this road shows me what it could really be if it got some more good care, tender love and care to give it some health. Now, the section we've walked up, been rough, been rocky, has some ruts. Right here on the right hand side, another place where John scraped it, graded it. Beautiful even surface. There's rocks in it, but they're mostly flat. Still a rut on the left hand side, still a shoulder that could be moved. The material in the shoulder could be recovered and put on the road, build it up a bit, give it a good grade to the left hand side downhill. But this part that we worked on, it looks good. If I remember correctly, both sides had quite a bit more brush just 2 or 3 years ago. Now, it's a pretty easy ride. And then after that, it gets rough again. But if we keep at it, one day it all might just be good. Another disappointment is that this shortcut that the mutters use is still being used. We put 2 boulders at the bottom, but you can see up here at the top it is eating into the roadway. The road could be a whole lot wider. We could have a ditch on the left hand side if this wasn't getting all chewed up. What I tried this year is just putting all those logs and sticks in there, pointing uphill, hoping to mess with their traction a bit, but of course that's not a permanent fix. Way down at the bottom you can see the two boulders. It looks like they moved the big one out of their way a bit. Well, here we are almost to the junction of the DNR road, 1100, and this water bar here that we've never touched, first water bar past the junction, now needs some help. So hopefully get some work on that. But yeah, as I said, the trouble spots still giving us trouble, but most of the road is in better shape than it's been a few years ago. Yeah, really encouraging trip up here today. Gonna talk to the Forest Service. This area, the Silver Star area in the National Forest, is now a part of Mount St. Helens National Volcanic Monument. It had been under the Mount Adams Ranger District, but they weren't able to really get out here. The hope is that with a more local base of operations, the Forest Service might be able to do a bit of work. But I don't know. I don't know where that stands. Lots of hope. Lots of hope. But yeah, the road's in a better condition than I expected it to be. So can't ask much more than that.